everyone, welcome back to NV Board Gaming. I'm Nick.
I'm Vic.
Today we're going to take a look at Santa Monica. It's a 2 to 4 player game by Josh Wood, published by AEG. Vic's going to explain it, and then we'll come back with our thoughts and review.
All right, we are set up here for a 2-player game of Santa Monica. If you're doing a 4-player game, it is set up the exact same way. You're going to determine first who the start player is, and the game's whole objective is to build an appealing oceanfront resort in Southern California. So you're going to start by taking a tile, you're going to draft it, so the person who has been chosen as the second player will get the first choice. These tiles differ in what they give you at the bottom left and what you are trying to achieve in terms of scoring at the top. The top one is letting you know where these green VIPs need to go. And as they reach locations, such as this one, which is a wave location or a sport location, you're going to put out these green footprints, which give you points at the end of the game. So the second player gets the first choice, and they would have that set aside. The first player receives this tile, which has the sand dollar and 1 VIP. Sand dollar is the currency in the game. And the game is all about drafting these feature cards. You may only take from the front row unless you use a special ability on one of these sand dollars to get from anywhere or the back. But you'll be choosing from the 4 feature cards at the front row. And when you choose a card, you have to place it either on the street level if it has a street on it, or if it's a beach one, it needs to go on either side of your starting tile on the beach top part. So you can't put a beach on the street. That's crazy. If you were to take a card like this one, you actually get 1 sand dollar, which is the currency of the game, if you choose the card that is beside the foodie truck. If you choose the one by the meeple here, you will get to move one of your meeples 1 space. Note that if you are moving anybody on this starting tile, it actually takes 2 movements to get off of this tile, so something to be mindful of. Additionally, another action you can take is to spend your currency on one of these special sand dollar abilities. For instance, this one, you pay 3 sand dollars and you're able to take a card from the back and move 4 meeples of any color 1 space. Alternately, there's this one. It lets you only select these type of cards from any place, and you move 2 meeples 1 space. So different combinations of sand dollars, different scoring that can happen there, or sorry, different bonuses that can happen there. And this blue card is available for all players to see throughout the game. They will know how the end of the game is going to score for them. There's a handy score sheet as well, which depicts how the scoring will take place at the end of the game. So it will help you add up your points. But before I get to that, as cards are taken, the top row is then pushed down and a new card comes out in its place. So when you're refreshing the cards, that's how it would go. And when you're scoring at the end, you're going to get points for every place that you've placed meeples in accordance to the card. So for this one, if you put 1 tourist in this spot, you get 3 VP, that's the sandcastle symbol. And you get a point for everywhere that your VIP has gone as per your special scoring on your starting tile. Everywhere you have a footprint, a green footprint. And you will then score any of the adjacency or chain bonuses on the top and the bottom of the cards. So you'll notice things like this. This card likes to be adjacent to places that are not tourist spots. So as long as you put a card that is not orange in type, you will score points on that one, and it would get the depicted score. That's the same for the bottom and the top. And then, of course, 1, 2, 3 applies to these special blue scoring rules. And then you add up your total. The person with the most points wins the game.
All right, we're back for our thoughts and review on Santa Monica. For this one, it is a good little filler. I'm going to give it a 7-9. So it reminds me a lot of a city building game. I don't know if people would classify it as a city builder, but it reminds me of that. Things like Suburbia, Quadropolis, where you get points based on adjacency. It's a cool game. It's just a different twist on that. You're playing cards, you're not playing tiles, for instance. That's the first thing I think of. is that you're placing tiles in a city building game and doing adjacencies. This one, it has a cutesy artwork. It's kind of cute how some of them have like a sign on the actual artwork that actually gives a new rule or something.
Yeah.
I like the artwork. It's pretty cool. The little hash marks that you can store people in, that's a cool idea. There's some cool ideas here. It is a little bit more lighter than I would have liked in order to get 8s maybe. But for a filler game, it's very good. I would recommend trying it for sure. Yeah, what do you think here, Vic?
Well, Nick, I have the same score. Yep.
Lato and Santa Monica is 8.3. Another solid score from me, as expected. A worker placement game. What do you score?
Nicholas.
Our first time.
8.3. Oh my gosh. I was so excited when I saw that we matched this time.
First time ever.
Yeah. So all the reasons Nick said, as usual. I like the VIPs moving different objectives when you draft your first tile. That you want to have your green guy, your VIP, move to these different areas and leave those footprints as you go through. I think that's really great. And I like the sand dollar abilities and the cleverness of thinking about which tile you're going to take in terms of what's going to be pushed down and made available to your opponent. Because that's another thing that does add a little bit of depth to the game. And I like the different scoring that can happen with the 1, 2, 3 at the end on the score sheet. It does change about wavelength, and you got to think about that. Okay, like where you're going to place a tile. So there's a lot of cleverness, a lot of thought that goes into it, and I think it's easy to teach. If you watch my explanation, I believe it's about 4 minutes long. It really is not that difficult. A lot of symbology that's pretty straightforward, and there's a reference card, and I like reference cards. I like score sheets. I think the game is a lot of fun.
Visually too. It just visually looks cool. I think that even the sand dollars, the big sand dollars that have the certain thing, even that looks nice. It's not a little placard. Even that looks nice. The sand dollars themselves are chunky little pieces. I think that's cool too.
Yeah, the currency being sand dollars is real neat.
Better than the cardboard.
We suggest, well, I'm not going to speak for him, but I think you should pick up the game. It's a good to add, I think, to any collection. You should try it maybe first, see if it's your thing, if you like city building games or you're into those kind of tile placing games. But we had a lot of fun with it, and I recommend it. What about you?
I would say if you're in need of a decent filler that actually takes some thought, I would say it's a buy. If not, if you have some things that fill that void, just go ahead and try it, and then find out for yourself. It's right at the cusp. So if we give it, for me, I scored an 8, and in the 8s, I think you should probably
it's a must buy.
It's a buy. 9's a must buy.
No,
it's like what are you doing? But yeah, so it's right in that borderline.
Yeah, check it out. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.